So the media has decided not to cover the border anymore. Why? Because the corporate media is aligned with the Democratic Party and the progressive left. Keep that in mind. So they're in the tank, as they say. And the border is embarrassing to President Biden because a lot of poor people are getting hurt. And there's a flood of foreign nationals coming into the United States. Here are the stats. And this is why it's always good to have a pen and paper when you watch the No Spin News. So at least 511,000 people, more than 500,000 people, have crossed into the United States since Joe Biden was inaugurated. And those people, that's just the encounters. That's just the people we know about. All right? There are probably a couple of 100,000 that we don't know about. So more than 500,000 people have been encountered by the Border Patrol and ICE agents on the Mexican border. That has stripped away all resources because those people have to be fed, housed, deported, some of them, put on buses to go places in the USA, some of them, whatever it may be. So drug interdiction suffers because the agents that used to do that are tending to the migrants, which is why I said when I promote killing the mob that Joe Biden is the most popular president ever for organized crime because there are more hard drugs have come into the USA since he's been president than in any other time in our history. Fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, flooding the USA because of President Biden. Now, does he know that? Probably not. I don't care. My job is to tell you the truth. You'll never see or hear that reported anywhere else. So 6,000 migrants, foreign nationals a day are being processed now by U.S. authorities at the border. That is up, some astronomical point from this time last year when the Trump policies had it down, okay? 65% of migrant families, these are families, 65% have been allowed to stay. 65%, all right, can stay. And maybe 5 years from now, they'll get around and saying, well, what are you doing? So there's a flood of new people here. Now, this is driven by the ACLU, all right, the American Civil Liberties Organization. So they want open borders, and Biden caving to them. So instead of 250 asylum seekers, now we're jacking that up to 7,000 a month allowed in. So anybody around the world can go to a border agent and say, I need asylum. And likely you're going to get it here, or at least a hearing. So all of this is creating a massive problem at the southern border that Americans don't really know about. I know you've heard about it, but now they're shutting that down. How do they do that? You can't shoot the kids. So the kids used to be the big narrative down on the border. The Biden administration is not allowing access to any migrant children or families. Okay, so unless the press gets those families when they come over the Rio Grande or come over to Arizona before the feds process them, they can't talk to them. So you're not going to see the Dallas Convention Center what the kids are doing and where they are. They're not allowing it. They know to shut off that kid pipeline means the story dies because you don't have pictures. So this is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. But Americans, they're going to shut it down. You're not going to know about it. But it can't get better. How can it get better? How? Biden essentially is saying open borders. And the kicker on it is that I say in my promotion for killing the mob, Joe Biden is the most popular president ever for organized crime because drug interdiction doesn't exist. There are more narcotics in the USA now than ever before. They're everywhere. And organized crime makes billions of dollars off of that. Billions. They love Biden. Bring it on.